2NURFM News. For our sponsor, Tile Warehouse Warners Bay, the large floor tile specialists.
It's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Annabelle Regan with 2NURFM Hunter News. A report is being prepared for the coroner after a man's body was discovered washed up on Bar Beach at around 6 a.m. this morning. A passerby made the discovery approximately 100 metres south from the Cooks Hill Surf Club. It is unsure whether the man got into difficulty after going for a swim in yesterday's storms. Lee Wannon from Police Headquarters says investigations are continuing.
A crime scene has been established and investigations are continuing. However, initial investigations suggest that the man's death is not suspicious. A report will be prepared for the information of the coroner.
9 years after the former New South Wales government declared Telegra would become home to one of the largest dams in Australia, the land is finally being sold off. 11 former Telegra landowners have been given the opportunity to repurchase their properties, though only one has taken up the offer. Jeremy Barth from Hunter Water says the Dungog community can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Hunter Water will today be announcing that it is putting all of the land up for sale. It expects to have the land sold in the next few months. And that is great news for the people of Dungog, who have been, for the last 9 years, living under the shadow of a possible dam at Telegra. We can remove that shadow today.
Redhead Beach is closed for the day due to dangerous conditions. Beach lifeguard team leader Darren Huey is asking beachgoers to avoid the area. Blacksmiths Caves and Catherine Hill beaches remain open and lifeguards will advise the community of any changes. Transport New South Wales has downsized its initial estimates of $100 million to construct a new light rail line in the Newcastle CBD. The chosen hybrid route would run down the rail corridor, then onto Hunter and Scott Streets, delivering passengers directly to jobs and services in the city. Key destinations such as Honeysuckle, Newcastle Beach and the new university campus and TAFE would all be connected. Liberal candidate for Newcastle, Karen Howard, says the Labor and the Greens' plans to re-implement heavy rail would take the CBD backwards.
Well, I can't see any costed plans from Labor or the Greens for Newcastle, which means that this election is a clear choice between parties that have costed plans to revitalise our city and Labor and the Greens that don't.
Newcastle's draft planning strategy is going under the spotlight today as part of a series of community information sessions on the city's growth and development between now and 2030. Residents are being encouraged to attend sessions in Newcastle, New Lambton, Hamilton, Taro and Wallsend over the next several days and provide their own feedback. Lord Mayor Natalia Nelm says it's important we get it right.
This is the time that you can actually shape the future look of the city by working out where in the suburbs do we want to keep single house residential and where do we want to have the more multi-dwelling residential and that type of thing. So it's very specific to different suburbs, but it's also a holistic plan that we're working on for the whole city. So I would encourage all residents to come and have their say.
Maitland City Council has announced a $9.9 million boost of funding to complete the second stage of the Levee Revitalisation project. It will see the construction of the new Riverlink building connecting High Street to the banks of the Hunter River. Work on the design phase has already begun, with the project expected to be completed in early next year. Maitland Council General Manager David Evans says they had to fight for funding after being overlooked in previous years.
It's a program that operates through the New South Wales State Government to provide support for infrastructure in communities that are impacted by mining. For Maitland Council, we weren't eligible for that program for its first few rounds, but we made representations to the state government.
In finance, the All Odds is up 43.7 points at 59.42, and $1 Australian dollar is buying 77.82 US cents. Updating sport now, in the Northern New South Wales National Premier League, Western have defeated Newcastle University to avoid elimination. The Bears overcame University 4-3 in a penalty shootout after a header by University's Chris Wett saw the teams tied 2-2 in the 10th minute. The Newcastle Hunters have maintained their leading of the Waratah Basketball League Women's Championship over the weekend. The Hunters defeated Sutherland Sharks 52-42 at Broadmeadow on Saturday. Meanwhile, in the Men's League, the Hunters slew Sutherland 92-62, but coach Larry Davison wasn't overjoyed with the team's performance. Even though Newcastle won by 30 points, Davison felt the game's fast-paced end, which showed more balance is needed during the entirety of play. 2NURFM News Time is 1:05.